Creature's Insight. I think just off the bat, I just want to play Brazen Borrower. Also, I should not be tapping my swamps. Yeah, because if I hit something like a Murderous Rider, I definitely want to play it. So, Murderous Rider onto the Cavalier, and then we'll copy it, and then onto the Risen Reef. So, boom, boom, taking out both their creatures. We are hemorrhaging 4 health from this. So, you know, if I could actually get a Murderous Rider down, that'd make me feel a lot better, or get a Euro down, or anything along those lines. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Song of the Graveyard deck, and that name may change, but it's a Song of Creation 4-color deck that allows you to basically have that discard ability from the Song of Creation, right, where it discards your hand and not feel terrible about it. So we're playing things like Polukranos, Euro, Phoenix of the Ash, Beacon Bolt, a lot of things that either have Jumpstart or Escapes or adventure spells like Brazen Borrower, so that way when you cast it with Song of Creation, you still have another part of it, that being the creature side, that you can cast after that on another turn or whatever, and you won't lose it, right? So it's a very crazy, kooky, wacky idea for a deck, and let's get that out of here, because that's not till the end of the video, you sneak peekers. You're not supposed to be looking over there. Anyways, it's a very interesting deck built off a very interesting idea, and that is that, you know, Song of Creation makes you discard all your cards at the end of your step, but at the end of your turn, whatever. But what if that wasn't such a bad thing, you know? Then is Song of Creation just busted, right? You get to play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever you cast a spell, you get to draw 2 cards, and then if that bottom part isn't really a negative because you can escape them or exile, or escape them or exile them, you can escape them or jumpstart them or whatever, you know, are you really losing out? And that's kind of what I was pushing to the theory today, and I gotta say, the deck worked out a lot better than what I thought it would. So diving on into what we actually have here today, we have 3 copies of Kroxa. Again, we're playing a whole lot of escape creatures. This card is very cheap, 2 mana, so whenever you play this with Song of Creation, you can play it, still have mana to play other things after you draw cards with Song. So it's a great top deck rip once you have the Song of Creation down, and before that, you know, hey, it's a pretty easy turn 2 play that you can get down. Furthermore, it exiles, it comes back as a 6/6, or it escapes, it comes back as 6/6. It's amazing. I'm gonna stop stuttering over my words now. Anyways, moving us down, we have 2 copies of the Lucky Clover. If you want to play more into the adventure aspect of this with Song of Creation, you know, people did that a very I'm missing my word here. People did it a lot when Song of Creation first came out, right? It was very much played with adventure and Lucky Clover and just sort of drawing your deck and having a whole bunch of stuff down or ready to use, right? Moving us along, we do have 3 copies of Brazen Borrower, 4 copies of Murderous Rider, 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant, and 4 copies of Beanstalk Giant. So you can see we actually played into the adventure spells ourselves quite a bit here. Now, I would highly recommend taking out a few Murderous Riders, maybe 1, maybe 2, depending on how good you feel about that, and maybe a Beanstalk Giant, because again, I think I did it a little bit overboard with the adventure. Now, you do want to be hitting them, but hitting 2 Beanstalks back to back, it just feels kind of a little wasteful when Song of Creation already allows you to play 2 lands down. You know, you get into this like, well, I'm just ramping now, you know. But they are very nice because again, you get to play them, you get to, you know, activate Song of Creation with the first part of the spell, and then the creatures, since they go into exile, you don't have to worry about them getting discarded from your hand. So it's kind of nice. It's nice to have a reserve of creatures that have, you know, solid stat lines and have lifelink and all that great stuff. Phoenix of Ash is a very awesome card. It has escape on it. It can come back onto the battlefield with flying and haste, so whenever you need that last whenever you need that last little bit of damage, you can escape it back. It does enter with a +1/+1 counter, so you're getting back a 3/3 with flying haste, and furthermore, you can sink 3 mana into it, and now it's going to be a 5/3. So if, like I said, if you're looking for that last little bit of damage, you've ramped up, you're at the end of the game, and you got no other options, or, well, I mean, you're going to have tons of other options. Let's be real. This deck is all about having tons of options, and you'll see what I mean when we get into the game, but it's crazy. So Phoenix of Ash is a nice closer. It allows you to deal more with flyers. It's a thumbs up, right? We have 3 copies of Euro next. If you want to go up to 4 copies, I don't blame you, but I think 3 are fine given how much card draw you have in this and given how much, like, you'll be going through your deck with this deck. that makes sense. Anyways, it gains you life, it draws you a card, it allows you to play an additional land onto the battlefield from your hand. So this plus Song of Creation, you can actually play 3 lands from your hand onto the battlefield in a single turn, which I know is not all that exciting given lands don't really do anything except for allow you to play other stuff. But in that same scenario, you know, if you're playing 3 extra lands, that's a whole extra euro that you can get down. So it could come in handy. Now, moving us down from that, we have Beacon Bolt, which is some nice removal that also has Jumpstart. So, you know, you can play it, it goes to your graveyard, you can play it again, or vice versa. If you're discarding it with Song of Creation, you don't have to worry too much because you can still play it on your future turns, right? And it only builds up the more you discard with Song of Creation. So it's kind of nice. Poly K, right? Polukranos, whatever you want to call it. 4 mana, comes down as a 6/6. One, that's dope right there, right? Because then you can pay 3 mana and have it fight target creature, and you can escape with it, and it comes back as 12/12, which is just insane. And I gotta say that Polukranos plus Beanstalk Giant was the main reason for me throwing in this one-off Gravitic Punch. Because if you get to thinking about it, how many times do you get your opponent down to like 10 life, or 11 life, or 8 life, some like pretty low number, and you're like, if I can figure out the order of attackers / how to remove things, well, Gravitic Punch takes out all that math work because Polukranos comes back as a 12/12. If your opponent has 12 or less life, you Gravitic Punch them, they're dead. Or even better, since it has Jumpstart, you Gravitic Punch them twice, and that's 24 health to the face. Now, this is a late game thing, but that's why you have it as a one-off. You don't feel bad about discarding it because you still have it in your pocket if you ever need it, right? It's Jumpstart. And again, working with a Beanstalk Giants get very big, especially in a deck like this where you're drawing out a whole lot of lands and putting them onto the battlefield pretty much immediately. It can get up to an 11/11 or a 12/12 itself very easily. So again, Gravitic Punch, boom, 22 damage, 24 damage, however much, you know. So I gotta say, this card was actually one of the biggest like pog cards, and I don't say that word very often, but one of the biggest like haha cards of the deck, and it was absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful in its artwork as well. We have Song of Creation. Everyone should know this. You may play an additional land on each of your turns, as I've been talking about. Whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards, and at the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So we're pretty much trying to eliminate that bottom line of text, right? That's negative. We're trying to just say, well, it doesn't matter that much. And then last but not least, we have the Beanstalk Giant. And we have Chemist's Insight, which I kind of skipped over, but it's another Jumpstart card. It allows you to draw 2 cards at instant speed. It's not bad at all. Now, you also notice we have 62 cards in the deck. As I was playing through the deck, I realized that I needed more basic lands, because I did the same thing I always do, where I don't put enough basic lands, but I put some way to grab basic lands, and then y'all get what I'm saying. So we went up a few. If you want to cut out, Beanstalk Giant like I was talking about, or in the Murderous Rider like I was talking about, you'll end up back at a 60 card deck, and everything will be peachy, right? Anyways, that is going to do it for our deck tech or deck breakdown. And now, without further ado, without further ado, we're going to go and hop right into our matches. Oh, and I would like to remind everybody to please watch all the way through to the end, as we do a deck tech wrap up at the very end of the video, and that's where we actually dive into these sideboard cards right here, and I tell you, other routes, other options for the deck that you could take to make it better, or maybe worse, but maybe more fun, right? There's also pro tips throughout each of the matches, so don't just skip to the end. Actually watch all the way through the video, as those pro tips pop out just whenever I, see a lesson to be learned, or something that I should have done differently, or whatever it is that I think needs to be touched on, right? Anyways, now, without further ado, into the match. Husbus, I kind of like your name. Alright, hey, I see the Song of Creation, I'm keeping it. I'm a simple man, and if we have to discard the Polukranos to get there, well then so be it. Another goose. Another little loosey-goosey, huh? Alright, well, I guess we're playing the same match that we just played, basically. Don't you dare play another goose, Husbus. We will have some problems. Paradise Druid. I'm fine by that. I say we just enter this tapped, yeah, because we still have the Brazen Borrower. There's no need to rush into the Bonecrusher Giant. Of course, casting Borrower after we have Song of Creation down is nice. Of course, after you get Song of Creation down, you don't really have mana to cast anything else, so you're kind of just discarding everything. So, we'll see. Maybe we can cast Brazen here on anything, even their little food token over there, right? I don't know that I want to cast it on a goose. I think I'd rather cast it on the food than a goose. Because you bounce the goose, they get the food right back, right? Lovestruck Beast. And are they attacking? Hopefully. I wouldn't mind bouncing a Brazen. Or Brazen, Paradise. We'll bounce the 1/1 actually, because that takes out the Lovestruck Beast. Takes out its ability to attack at least, right? So, Fabled Passage, we're going for the song. We are going to unfortunately lose that Bonecrusher Giant that's in our hand, but, you know, sacrifices have to be made, ladies and gentlemen. I don't get to always make the easy decisions. Of course, I guess we could also go for a Bonecrusher Giant, shock the goose, and, you know, play it out. We also have Polukranos that can come down. You know what? Yeah, we're going to play it a little slow. We're going to go for the Polukranos, and, because I don't want to have to pay 6 mana for this creature if I don't have to, right? Cavalier of Thorns, yeah. Super happy with my decision there. Now I don't feel so bad when I put the Song Creation down and, like, discard everything, because I actually have a body on the floor. Cool. Cool. It's a little unfortunate. I was hoping we would hit a land here and then I could have this fight something and get down Bonecrusher, and then on the next turn play a easy free Song Creation. But I'm not gonna hold off on this for forever, you know? So let's do it. Let's song it up. Can you hear? Alright, bye-bye, Bonecrusher, Croxa, and what was the other one? Polukranos? Another Polukranos? Yeah. Oh, yeah, a land draw that would have been perfect there. We would have gotten rid of their Cavalier of Thorns. We would have gotten Bonecrusher, their Gilded Goose. Oh well. Oh well. We'll make it work. We'll do what we gotta do. Purphoros isn't great for us, but still doesn't allow their Cavalier to kill us. Alright, so we're getting down to Bonecrusher because I value it a little bit more than the Brazen Borrower. We can still get down the land, so I'm not going to play the land until I know whether I need to shock it or tap it. And it looks like we're tapping it. Tapping it. Right? Yeah. Alright, so unfortunately our Polukranos again can't fight the Cavalier. Gravitic Punch though will go back over here, so if we get them kind of close, we can always use that. Or, you know, we escape our Polukranos and we have that big old 12 points of damage. That's nice. Another Cavalier of Thorns, you don't say. You don't say. I wonder what they're hoping to pull with Purphoros. I'm a little worried I'm about to see a Dracuseth just come down and dumpster my board. But we'll see. They still have 3 mana with which they have access to here, thanks to the Purphoros giving the Goose haste. So are they paying for the Purphoros? They're certainly looking at it. They're looking pretty hard at it. Okay. Okay. Again, I think I'd rather keep Polukranos back to defend. Come on, hit a land. There we go. Damn, I was really hoping for another land there, but that's alright. We have enough cards in our graveyard now, we can start exiling stuff, so. kind of want to get a Euro onto the field, you know, like actually on the field. What are you getting with your Cavalier of Thorns Husbus? Baby, come on. What do they have to get? 10 cards, Kogla, Vivian, Nissa. They got some good stuff, but they don't actually have, like, how many humans do you have besides the Lovestruck Beast token? And you're playing Mutate? Maybe they just want the Kogla to have the Kogla, you know what I mean? Did they just time out? Oh, I'm gonna feel so bad. Look at this. Basically, I have a full hand. We actually do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we have a full hand of escape / jumpstart cards. I love it. Husbus, no, baby, I was having such a good time. Come on. Well, they probably got disconnected. Like, it's very, very doubtful that they just decided, you know what? I know I'm halfway in the middle of this match. I actually have a very good chance of coming back and winning. I'm just gonna rope. Highly doubt that's the situation there. Well, Husbus, it was fun playing with you while it lasted, buddy, pal, friend, oh man. Oh, they're back. They're actually back. Wow. Maybe they just got distracted. Maybe they just had to like run the dogs outside or something. Yeah, it happens to me all the time. All right, they're getting back to Kogla. We're back in it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, baby. So the Beanstalk Giant does allow us to get another land down onto the board, which is good. The Brazen, I kind of like a little bit more for bouncing the Purphoros. This Song of Creation, perfectly fine with getting that out of my hand. I don't have anything I can throw down for 2 mana, right? Right. So enter that tapped. And then we're getting in. We're getting in for 10 points of damage, it looks like. They do have a lot of food. But is it enough? I guess we'll see. We have crazy amounts of cards. We can also start throwing in our Brazen Borrowers, right? There it is, Kogla. Alright, cool beans. Cool beans. I think we should get a Polukranos back and then use Gravitic Punch to maybe surprise him a little bit, you know what I mean? Why are you swinging him with everything? That makes no sense. So we're definitely shocking that in. I'm definitely escaping you. Song Creation, Beanstalk's not coming back. Fabled Passage. If I'm getting that Polukranos, I don't need this Polukranos. Bonecrusher isn't coming back. Bonecrusher isn't coming back. Ooh. We're so close to having enough for the... I guess it's better to do this, right? So close to having enough for the Gravitic Punch, which is almost lethal. Would have been had I swung in with the Bonecrusher Giant and could have also done it, but that's okay. So we'll swing in with Bonecrusher, take him down to 9. We have a Gravitic Punch for when we do untap to finish them out, right? I mean, they have food they can still eat. We'll see if they'll save enough mana for it, though. Is that the better play than getting down Purphoros and giving it haste that way? Are you just eating food? No, they're casting on Purphoros. What? That makes actually no sense. Alrighty, Husbus. Yeah. Gravitic Punch, baby. Gravitic Punch! It's been so long. GG. Well, that felt good. Beto, or Beto? I don't know. Gonna be our next foe. We have the Lucky Clover in hand, and we have 2 lands, which I'm not ecstatic about only having 2 lands in hand. That's not a good thing, by the way. But we can also get down to Kroxa. We don't have any like ramp really in this hand. We're gonna take a mulligan. And happy I did. Happy I did. So they're playing a Kahira deck. Wow, I haven't seen Kahira in a good little minute. Are we shocking to get down to the Lucky Clover knowing that we're playing the Euro? That's an interesting question, actually. So we got 2 Euros now, which means that Lucky Clover might not come down for a while. Of course, we play Euro next turn. Get down. You know what? Let's just get it in. Right? Our opponent's going to be ramping. We know they're playing Kahira, so they could be playing a whole lot of creatures. It could be a Kahira Lead the Stampede deck, in which case they could really come out the gate swinging with creatures. You know, because we've played that together before, and who's to say you can't use... Ooh. Solid little 3/3. We don't want to Brazen Borrower quite yet, so we'll probably just take that 3 damage on the chin there. Another Brazen Borrower. Okay, cool. We'll go back up to 19. I actually really like this deck we're playing. It's a Kahira Mutate deck. I like the Ivy Elemental a lot better knowing that it's a Mutate deck, right? Because, well, it's kind of like Ivy Elemental is like a cheap man Stone Cool Serpent. You know what I mean? And that's no slight against you, Beto or whatever your name is. That's actually a thumbs up, right? Hey, you figured this cool play out. All right, so we're going for another Euro, and then we're leaving up mana for the Brazen Borrower. Done and done. Another land. Hey, I'll take it. I will certainly take it. And we are doing this on their turn, or are we doing this on our turn? We're doing it on their turn. Doing it on their turn before they go to attack. Ah, moving Kahira over. Are they playing Kahira down? That's the true question. They are indeed. All right, so we resolve, and before it goes into attack mode, we bounce and bounce. All right, beautiful. So got that out of the way. Now they can still play down their Ivy Elemental for 2, right? If they want to not lose all progress, so to speak. Of course, we have another Brazen Borrower, so it's happening again. They don't play down anything, which that is actually very surprising. I think we go for the Polukranos. We have enough mana left over afterwards to have it fight something, or for the Brazen Borrower. That's actually a good point. Do we have it fight the Leafkin to keep their mana low? I think so. I could be wrong here, but we don't lose any health on the Polukranos if we fight it now, whereas we might lose some in the future, and it kind of requires them to play down 2 creatures for us to use the Brazen Borrower effectively, because I'm not bouncing the Wolf Willow Haven. Like, I'm not so long as I can help it, right? All right, Beto, what do you got for me? Are you just putting down a big ol' Ivy Elemental? If you put something big in front of my face, I'm gonna have to bounce it. Hydroid Crisis. That might be worth a bounce. Or we could just fight it with our Polukranos, I guess. Song of Creation, just in the nick of time. All right, well, we're getting down Song of Creation then. That's a pretty obvious one. Are we fighting or are we using Brazen? I think we're using Brazen here. Bouncing there. Bouncing here. I guess we're shocking here, playing this. Let's make them discard a little bit, shall we? Play down another land. And we're getting in with the Polukranos. With the Poly K. Alright. And then again, the beautiful thing about our deck is it's built to where when we discard with Song of Creation, it's not that bad, really. It's not that bad. So we're in a great position here. We're in a fantastic position. I'm actually very curious as to what Beto's like lines of play are. If their deck is just built around ramping with Simic and then mutating onto those ramped creatures, right? Because it seems like they have this weird sort of elemental ramp mutate deck going on, which, you know, I can dig it. I can certainly dig it. Oh. We don't exactly want to be escaping anything right now, so we may just play those Brazen Borrowers out to the side. Fill up our graveyard a little bit before, you know, trying that stuff. A Cavalier of Thorns, well, that's not good for us. Could have Polukranos just fight the Cavalier and then fight the Risen Reef, and then, you know, they're all cleared out. Of course, I'm a little worried about us milling ourselves. We're at 43 cards. They're actually a little bit lower than us, but Lord knows the Song of Creation certainly speeds you right along. So we'll see. Chemist's Insight. I think just off the bat, I just want to play a Brazen Borrower. Also, I should not be tapping my swamps. Yeah, because if I hit something like a Murderous Rider, I definitely want to play it. So Murderous Rider onto the Cavalier, and then we'll copy it, and then onto the Risen Reef. So boom, boom, taking out both their creatures. We are hemorrhaging 4 health from this. So, you know, if I could actually get a Murderous Rider down, that'd make me feel a lot better, or get a Euro down, or anything along those lines. What are they putting back from their graveyard? What are they putting back? Anything? Leafkin. Okay, that's what you really want. Oh no, they were just selecting a card to be goofy. Okay. So we can get back a Euro here, which does gain us life. We don't exactly have the cards in the graveyard that I would like to exile, right? Like, Fabled Passage is fine, Fabled Passage is fine, but I don't want to get rid of the Polukranos or the other Euro, so maybe we're just waiting on that. We don't have another, okay. So that going down tapped is fine. We can play down Brazen Borrower, but we could also play that instant speed, and same with Chemist's Insight, we're about to lose that. I say we just go for the Brazen Borrower. So we're getting in for the 6. They're down to 10. We'll end our turn on that note. When we go to cast Brazen, we'll have cards in our hand come next turn rather than just the one that we draw, right? That's the other nice thing about Song of Creation. If you can use your spells on your opponent's turn and stack your hand up to have a little bit bigger chance than just that one single card, you know, then it's a true menace. And being able to ramp so hard is just kind of nice. So I'm kind of interested to see if a Rada Song of Creation deck comes out, right? Because Rada's like 3 mana, and it allows you to play lands off the top of your deck, and then Song of Creation is 4 mana, and it allows you to play additional lands on each of your turns. So you're just going to be able to look at the top of your deck and sort of play 2 lands per turn off the top of your deck, which seems pretty good. You know, it means that you should never get flooded as far as drawing, you know, top decking into your hand. I won't say never, but a 1/1 Ivy Elemental, they must be looking for something here, right? Must be looking for something. Although it's Simic, so it's not even like they have access to the big stuff. I was trying to think of casualties of war. There we go. They don't even have access to that, so. Beto, what are you doing? You only have 7 mana left. All right, resolve. Sure, I'm getting down a whole lot of creatures. But they just played the Migratory Greathorn. They didn't even mutate it. Alright, if that's all you're doing, then let me go ahead and play my play so I have to quit resolving. Or so I can quit resolving, you know what I mean? Alright, so Beanstalk Giant, do you actually have enough to go in and grab 1, 2, 3? You do. You do indeed. Okay. Well, sure. Why don't you go ahead and go into the deck and grab us some cards. So, here... Here. Okay, so we're definitely getting in the 6 to the face. We have Polukranos to take out their creatures. And we have Brazen Bar to bounce their other creatures as well. Alright, so let's go Brazen. Get rid of you. Excuse me. A little bit of voice crack there. And you. Otherwise, they're 2 biggest ones. Oh, I actually could have left the Kihira, right? And then just removed it. Oh, no, this is fun. This is fun. And then we go here, here, done, here. Alright, so now all their creatures are dead. And it's a GG. Look at that, Beto. We're picking up another victory. Oh, man. People won't call me mean. Glad eel. Sure, looks good. We got a solid base. We don't have access to the Murder Strider, but we have access to the Euro and Beanstalk. And Fabled Passage is kind of nice because that does allow us to hit the Murderous Rider, right? Keep throwing these down tapped. This is a rather slow deck, and it seems like we're up against a Selesnya enchantment deck, which isn't fantastic for us, but it also isn't terrible. We do shock here. We do play a Euro over the Beanstalk Giant. Because this gains his life, you know. Go ahead and put down the Fabled Passage. So we have our double black there. We have red there. We have green across the board. 2 blues. Alright, well, we're pretty much good on everything. Well, we see that having all that glitters in hand, we'll have to save our mana for that Murderous Rider, right? Yeah. Alright, so we'll end our turn on that note. We'll wait for all that glitters to come down on the Siona or the Transcendent. Ooh, Owslet instead. So they're gonna be able to protect whatever, right? Two Murderous Riders. gets rid of that, but they still have the All That Glitters. Of course, it's not fantastic, but they don't have a ton of enchantments on the board at the moment either. Another Owslin. You don't say. At least they are hard stuck on white mana. Here we're going for another Beacon Bolt on the Owslin. And I think saving mana for one of our 3 Murderous Riders, right? We have access to so many cards right now, it's actually kind of crazy. Suppose I should have used a Murderous Rider there, huh? Yeah, we'll go ahead and use one. We're not going to use it on the enchantment creature just in case they have a Karametra's Blessing. If they have a God's Willing, it'll still work. Beautiful. So they probably do have that Karametra's I was talking about then. We're running out of basics. We still have another Beanstalk Giant in hand as well. I can actually cast down this Beanstalk Giant, but it doesn't have reach, so... we do have a Euro in hand. Let's go ahead and gain some life. I think that'll be good for us. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So if I pay 2 here... We still have a Polukranos as well that we can have come down and then do fun stuff with. No. Green, blue. Wait, Gladiel, I'm not done with you. Alrighty, the Space Invader, gonna be our first foe with this ever so interesting deck. I am gonna keep this. We have the Beanstalk Giant to at least, you know, ramp us up a little bit here. We have the Bonecrusher Giant to deal a little bit of madness to our foe, and now we have a Murderous Rider. So we're drawing into all of the adventure spells. That's all right. I don't mind that. And our opponent looks like they're playing Dimir Flash. They are indeed. They're playing some Dimir Flash Mutate deck. It's interesting. Certainly interesting. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but we are gonna shock here and go ahead and get this Bonecrusher Giant off on the Sea Dasher. That way we take out their mutate creature, and hopefully their other line of play of mutating down another creature is no longer there. Of course, it still may be. We'll have to wait and see. All right, Fertile Footsteps. Excuse me, by the way, that little voice crack there. We'll keep on pulling mana. I believe we're at a point now where we can cast Song of Creation if we get it, so that's good. We can start throwing these down tapped, as we don't need to take something out immediately. And I think we may just go for a good old Bonecrusher Giant. We could also just wait and go for the Chemist's Insight though. I want to have a creature down if we can. I'd like to have a body to defend our faces. Slither Wisp. Alright, that's fun. Because Bonecrusher can block that relatively easy. Our opponent's actually playing Sultai, by the way. Sultai Flash, not just Dimir, which means it's probably Sultai Flash Mutate. So we can expect some Dirge Bats. Not now, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Well, we do have the option to Murderous Rider on their Slither Wisp. We're hemorrhaging health here. I may just want to play a Murderous Rider down. We'll see. We're gonna swing in with Bonecrusher. They're not gonna block because, you know, obvious stuff. And then yeah, are we just casting down a Murderous Rider, or are we actually casting the Murderous Rider? Let's cast it. What's the worst that could happen? You know, besides them obviously countering it. But if they counter, at least we don't lose the 2 life that we would, right? Nope. It just goes through. Bravo. And we can't really do anything with that one, so we'll enter it tapped and call it a day. Well, you know, call it a turn. The Space Invader, they're not doing a whole lot. They're just leaving their mana up, leaving their face undefended. Okay. Little stutter step there. Omen of the Hunt. Well, I don't know what you're playing, Space Invader. I'm really interested because you're holding up a whole lot of cards. You're going for the mana rampage. What could it be? Tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and get down a Beanstalk Giant since we have the open mana, and now we know since they cast Omen of the Hunt they don't have open mana, or didn't, rather. Isn't this just lethal though? They gotta have some kind of trick up their sleeve here. So we have 11 damage on board, so. There we go, Brazen Borrower for the win. I think we do just resolve it as well. All attack. They go down to 6, maybe? That would have been a great time for a Gravitic Punch. Just casting down the Brazen. Well, thankfully the Brazen can't stop our Bonecrusher Giant. Is there any other combination in which I could take them out? Can't cast Polukranos plus a Gravitic Punch because we're off by 1 mana. I know, that hurts. I mean, we could just cast this back down, right? Do we have anything that has reach on it? No, not really. Alright. Let's ramp. Sure. Ramp, and then... Actually, you know what? Now we just got to do it again next turn and we win. Yeah, the Space Invader scooping it out. So, Song of the Graveyard once again picking up another victory. Unreasonable action. That's just unreasonable. There's no clear-cut sign as to why they would do it. Sure, we'll keep. We can get down the Euro on turn 3, so that sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan to me. And again, this may be one of those decks where I want to add in a few more basics, given we have the Beanstalk Giants. We shall see, though. Yeah. We'll go ahead and play down the mountain, and this way our Bonecrusher Giant's stomp ability comes online. Do we go ahead and use it and just pump them in the face? Sure. Why not? You know, if they counter it, at least they counter here, and they're not countering our Euro, so we'll see. They take it on the chin. Well, that makes me a little worried, but you know, balls to the wall. Let's try it. Euro, Euro, Euro. Okay. Whew. You actually scared me there a little bit with the growth spiral. I thought you were gonna counter my stuff. All right, everybody, relax. It's just a growth spiral. Well, let's go ahead and put down. Okay, thank you. Enter it tapped. Then Euro is gonna leave. We'll be up to 5 mana come next turn, which is enough for Bonecrusher plus Kroxa, or Murderers plus Kroxa, or just a Polukranos. We'll see. A lot of options. A lot of options. I like the idea of a Kroxa plus Bonecrusher, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's what we go for. Oh, we actually can't go Murder Strider, by the way. I said that, but we don't have double. Well, I guess if I shot this, then we would. Huh. Unreasonable action. They still haven't played anything, like actually anything, you know, besides just a growth spiral. So I'm a little curious. What you got going on over there, buddy? So we'll go ahead and get down the Bonecrusher Giant, which I guess all the adventure spells are like, they're exile cards, right? They're not graveyard cards. I'm sorry, everybody. I've lied to you. This isn't just Song of the Graveyard. Apparently, it's also Song of the Exile. Which I gotta say, kind of sounds a little bit better than Song of the Graveyard, but you know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm saying. I really like this animation of the chains over everything down here. I'm imagining it's terrible for people that have slower computers and can't turn it off. That's got to be terrible, but you know, looks pretty cool. Unreasonable action. You got the Night Pack, ambush her down. Where are you going from here? What's your next course of action? Frilled Mystic? I could definitely see a Frilled Mystic coming down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I want to get down the Polukranos. I don't know if it'll actually stick though. We're gonna try. I guess I should have went for the Kroxa first though, right? To tempt them to counter a Kroxa instead of a good old Polukranos. That was a mistake on my part. That's alright though. We'll get down the Kroxa. Hopefully, maybe. Again, it could always be a Frilled Mystic comes into play. What does this do? Oh, and loses all abilities. Oh, mutating onto a creature won't give it new abilities. It can gain abilities. It can gain abilities in other ways. Well, that's fine. It's still a 4/6 body, right? And we have another one, so if we want to replace it, we can. Alright, get to discard an unreasonable action. An Aether Gust. You sneaky man. Or woman. You sneaky player, you. Are we swinging in with Bonecrusher Giant? I think that's a hard yes. Even if they just trade out with the 3/3 Wolf. I don't like the idea of getting overrun with wolves, so get them, Bonecrusher. Get in there, fuck them up. I got a lot more ammunition over here, right? And putting cards in our graveyard is not a bad thing. It allows us to get our Euros or our Kroxas back, so I'm a-okay with that. Chemist's Insight. I'm not gonna play this down quite yet. I'm gonna go ahead and try to just destroy this guy, this buddy, this fox, wolf thing. Alright, Murder Shredder. You have one of the creepiest faces I've ever seen in Magic, if I'm being honest, bro. I think it's funny, we're playing up against a Simic deck, and I've yet to see a single counter spell. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it. I'm ecstatic, but it's also very, very worrisome. We did get rid of an Aether Gust, which isn't counter magic. But I mean, it's in those lines of, yeah, okay. Are we gonna put it on top? I don't think so, because we have another Polukranos in our hand. So yeah, decline. We'll throw it to the bottom. Give me a Song of Creation, baby. All right. What are you pulling out here? Bum bum bum. They're just playing a Brazen down, just straight up. Don't even need to use the effect. I said, you're not even playing anything. Why would I bother? Maybe they're rocking a killer counterspell over there. I really hope not, because here comes Song of Creation. Yeah, baby, there we go. I don't even care about discarding the other Polukranos, right? Now, they are dealing 5 more damage to our face, which is putting us down to 7 health. Not exactly where I want to be, but We got Song down. We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. That was you don't have to tell me. I know it was terrible. But the real question comes in, like, do I escape anything like a Euro and gain some life and things of that nature? I guess we'll play the Beanstalk Giant first, right? Let me make sure I'm tapping the right stuff here. So 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4. That won't allow us to do what we want to do. Ah, we don't have enough green and blue. So if I cast the Beanstalk Giant, I won't have mana for anything else. I can't cast a Euro down actually at all. I need that blue mana. I'm going to Murderous Rider isn't flying, but does give us the ability to also cast the Beanstalk Giant and gives us life gain, which we definitely want some life gain. So let's see if the Murderous Rider can hit. Another land, which we do need. We do need that blue mana. Can't use it this turn, but we will go ahead and throw it down and cast a Beanstalk Giant. I'm a little worried that they're just gonna end up playing like more creatures down, right? And then we're just gonna be sort of up the creek without a paddle. Alright. So we're discarding the Murderous Rider, which is a little unfortunate, but we're at 7 health, so you know, we should probably be more concerned with our life than anything else. But we did ramp hard, right? We ramped pretty hard. Nightpack Ambusher coming back down for our foe. That's not great for us. And a Growth Spiral, yeah, we gotta hope that they don't find anything to bounce our Murderous Rider. Otherwise, well, we're getting murdered. They got 2 Looksies here. Swinging in just with the Brazen. Swinging in with the Brazen and the Nightpack. Alright, well, we blocked the Nightpack for sure. Again, we need that health. We can't die. I mean, we can, but that's the problem, right? We can very well die. That is the problem. Alright, so Polukranos, and we'll still have 3 mana to fight something if we want. Or Euro. We'll gain some life, and we'll still have mana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still have mana for something like a Gravitic Punch if we wanted to do that. It's a little risky. Put this down, and I fight the Nightpack Ambusher. The Brazen still gets in for 3. One of those still get in for 3, so we still lose. If I do this, I don't know for sure. I'm just being honest, I don't know for sure. So we can get rid of the Murderous Rider, Fabled Passage. Chemisters we may want to... Actually, no, we can get rid of that. Bonecrusher in the graveyard we don't need. Those we want to leave. And we can get rid of Gravitic because they're not anywhere close to, you know, actually getting taken out from it. I mean, I guess actually Polukranos does come down as a 12/12, right? So like 1 Gravitic Punch and they're at 3 health. But again, Polukranos wasn't gonna allow us to actually live. So Brazen Borrower, but we have no. We need more blue mana. We might just need more blue mana in the deck in general. Actually, I think we lose here if they just all in, right? Don't do it. Unreasonable action. It's unreasonable. There's no reason for you to... Thank you. I don't know why they wouldn't all in there. That is all they needed. Any Hoosers. Are we going for the Polukranos? We're gonna have to exile a whole lot of stuff, but when we get to swing into the Euro, we get to gain more life anyways, right? Alright, Polukranos, come on down. 6 other cards. That's everything, yeah? That's everything we have over here. Alright, graveyard. Goodbye, Croxus. Chemisters. It was nice knowing you. Just let it happen, buddy. There's no need for you to counter it. There's no... Damn it. Just lands, huh? Drawn into another Euro wouldn't have been, you know, opposed by me, personally. Magic. Sometimes I like to fake people into thinking that I have something to actually play, you know, by just hovering over my cards. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, so I can shock a land in, and then when Euro goes to attack, I can play another land. Right? Right. So that's what we do. Next, to block hairs. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I think we still lose though, right? Like, we have this, fight that, but then we still lose because we're on 2 health. So we throw out the good old college GG. Anyways, and we take it to the face. Unreasonable action, you got me. Or did I get myself? I only had 2 sources of blue mana that entire game. I might have got myself, honestly. Might have just ended it myself. We played hard. I'm sure there was more lines of play we could have had in there that would have led to a victory sooner at some point, especially given that our opponent wasn't actually playing any counter magic, or none that I could see. So, wherever you are, Sam Spam 1023, or is it Sam's Pam 1023? You know, like this is Sam's Pam, or is it Sam Spam? Like Sam spams people. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I would like to see my cards, speaking of which. Hello. Magic. That's what I'm saying, bro. Okay. All that restlessness for nothing. Jeez, chill out, guys and girls. So this is pretty great for us, right? We have Lucky Clover and the Beanstalk Giant. We also have the Murderous Rider. Not that we have any mana for the Murderous Rider, but you know, sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. If these had been 2 shock lands, I'd be pretty happy, but that's okay. Goodness gracious, me alive. Tried to start keeping my drink over there so I'm not like turning this way and drinking, because I've realized that the camera's from this way. So speaking of which, how do y'all like that? Eva keeps telling me like, you need to move the camera. I don't like the camera angle, but like I guess that's my like joking, nagging voice. I love her, y'all know that. Like, do y'all like it coming from this angle? Because I can't think of another way actually that I could put it, you know. Like if I put it back on top of my computer screen, it's gonna be really close one, and it's gonna be looking down on me. So, oh goody, we could keep. Alright, so I completely forgot I also found a way to mute myself in OBS, which that's really useful. Alrighty, here we go. I was like, Sam Spam, they're not even here. It's gonna be an easy instant GG. Of course, I say that, and they're gonna easy instant GG us with this Footlight Fiend, right? All right, Sam's Pam getting in with the Footlight. I'm a little, ooh, I do want to get this Overgrown down for the potential of getting a Murderous Rider, but I'm not going to Murderous Rider a Footlight Fiend, right? Like, that's just not happening. So we'll just play it nice and slow with our health and get down to Lucky Clover and to the Beanstalk and yada yada yada. I'm actually really glad that I put in more basic lands before we played this match, now seeing what we got in this match, right? Scrying one to the top. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. It's a priest deck, everybody. It's a priest deck. Now, I'm not too concerned because we're not actually playing any creatures down here on this next turn anyways. We're just going for the good old Beanstalk Giant. Why are you looking at my stuff? Get out of here. Sam Span. Ooh, baby. It's like literally giving me everything I want except for all these basics. Obviously, I don't want only basics, but beggars can't be choosers. We're going to go ahead and Beanstalk Giant here. We'll get out 2 more basic lands. Give me those islands. We saw what happened last time when I didn't get them. Ooh, although that's a good point. That puts us right there at Murderous Rider without having to shock in a land. Yeah, we already have the double. God. I'm playing it risky. We'll see how it goes. So, we are going to use Murderous Rider here. We want the main Murderous Rider to be on the Priest, right? That way it doesn't fizzle. So when I go to play it, we murder the Priest, then they sack those 2 things, and if the copy of the Murderous Rider fizzles, that's fine. It is also going to take us down a few pegs of health, so that's unfortunate. Oh no, Sam, buddy. No. That's not what you really wanted to do. Alright, so 1 there, 1 there. And yeah, hallelujah for Sam Spam. Just swinging in with the Priest. Obviously, we still have some problems being... Well, actually, no, right? No, we don't, because we just play this and double it up. Alrighty, well then let's just enter this tapped, and we'll throw down this good old Stomp. 1 here, and 1 here. And get rid of Sam's entire board. Now, granted, we are going down very, very low, right? We're going down to 8 health. We have the Murderous Rider to gain us back up in health. We have tons of land, and Sam is, well, they're pretty much out of cards here. They do get down a Woe Strider, but in getting down a Woe Strider, they're pretty much leaving themselves very open, because they only have 1 mana, and I'm about to go on a tear with this Song of Creation, right? That's the plan, at least. Whether it happens or not, you know, who am I to say? Yeah, Cauldron Familiar. You know what? This game may be over sooner than I thought. No, we got a Bonecrusher. We're still in it. We're still in it. Alright, so I go for the Song of Creation for obvious reasons. I'm not playing down the Murderous Rider yet, though. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't justify it because I have the easiest play in the world to make. And again, make sure if you have Lucky Clover, you're not putting your copied spells onto the creature that they can sacrifice, because then it will fizzle and you won't get your creature. You know, another land and another Song of Creation is not exactly what I wanted to see here, but that's okay. We'll throw it down tap. I should have got down the blue mana. I don't know what I was thinking. Dreadhorde Butcher, not the card we want to see here. Not at all the card we want to see when we're low on life. That's alright. Another land. Okay. So we're just playing plays here. We're just playing the plays. I can Murderous Rider, but it's going to fizzle if I like actually try to play it. So we might just play it down as a creature, right? That's not a bad idea. A Kroxa and another Murderous Rider. We could... No, we can't. Well, we could play both of them, shock them both in, and get the other Murderous Rider down. Get the third Murderous Rider down. That puts us down to 2 health, though, which means they literally just have to kill their Butcher. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that. All right, enter tapped. We can't afford to. All right. At least we have life linkers now, though. We might need a little bit more life gain in the deck, given how long this deck actually takes to get going. You know what I mean? All right, they're escaping the Woe Strider, which is fantastic for us because it means they don't have any other plays except for that, and that isn't going to equal lethal for them or for us. You know what I mean? And a good old Fabled Passage. I think I still have an island within my deck to grab, so, you know, let's see. I think I just have an island grab though. Like it's just that one island, right? Yeah, look at me knowing my deck. Alright, now we have tons of stuff over here. Do we want to get down the Beanstalk Giant? I don't think going big is necessarily what we need to do here. I think we just need more ways of gaining life, taking out their creatures, that kind of stuff. So instead of going big, we're gonna go a little wide, right? 2 Croxes. Well, let's play one down. At least make them discard. Phoenix of Ash, that's interesting. And we got a Bonecrusher Giant, which means we can actually... Oh, baby. Am I going 2 here, or 1 here and 1 there? I think we're going 1 here. And 1 there. Beautiful, beautiful. And now I do want to swing in with the Murderous Riders, even if they get, well, murdered, right? Yeah, swinging in with both. Swinging them in. And again, they're probably going to die to the Woe Strider, but then they just go back into our deck, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing, since we're drawing like maniacs. Now we'll discard all these cards, but oh, whoa, what's this? We can still play them. Sam spam. They just drew into a Footlight Fiend. You're top decking. You're top decking and hoping for the answer. I don't think you're gonna find it. Of course, we are at 8 health and, you know, playing a little risky. But there's our Euro. Oh baby. Of course, I always say we need life gain, but I forget we have Euro, and Euro is like some serious life gain. I know Lucky Clover might... Never mind, Sam's Pam. They've seen enough. They're scooping it out, and we're picking up another victory with this... Alrighty, so you made it all the way through the matches. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you. I know watching me play Magic for about an hour or so that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of commitment and dedication to a man that's... Well, me, you know. Anyways... if you enjoyed the video, which I'm assuming you did if you watched all the way to the end, please be sure to leave a like down below and a comment in the comment section if you have any suggestions on this video, future videos, or past videos, whether it be about the deck, other decks, or, you know, my style, my editing style, my commentating style, anything along those lines. If you're new here and you'd like to see more content from me, I can't, you know, stress this one enough. Consider subscribing. It's free. Whenever you click on that bell icon, it'll give you a notification whenever I go live and all that great stuff. But don't go live. Stop saying that, Chance. Whenever I post videos and post and all that other great stuff. And then last but not least, if you're looking for a Discord community to join up with, I mention in every video, there's a link in the description. I highly recommend you checking it out. And if it's not your cup of tea, you know, no big deal. If you're not a Discord user, just ignore me. Anyways, on into this sideboard or the deck tech wrap up, whatever you want to call it. It's not an actual sideboard. Please don't actually be taking these decks and trying to use the sideboard in a best of 3 match, because you will lose. Anyways, basically what I did with this sideboard is I showed you the other options as far as escape, jumpstart, and adventure goes, right? So for the escape, you got Mogus's Favor, you got Escape Velocity. Both of these cards are very, very awesome. Mogus's Favor are gonna allow you to build your creatures up even higher, and, you know, maybe even potentially remove some of your opponent's creatures that have that only 1 life little thing or whatever. Maybe a mono red Fervent Champion, whatever, right? Escape Velocity is gonna allow you to, again, escape escape this card and give a creature haste, which can be great if you have something like a Euro or a Polukranos or a Beanstalk Giant that, you know, is just huge, right? And then it has haste and it gets to smack in immediately, and it's doing its stuff. If you're looking to play more into the adventures, more Lucky Clovers, more Fae of Wishes, it's a great card. It allows you to go into your sideboard and pull a card into your hand. Now, you are going to discard that card, so unless you have enough mana to go ahead and cast it, I would keep that in mind whenever you're going to build out your Fae of Wishes sideboard list, you know? Try to keep in mind how often you'll actually be able to cast those cards once they enter your hand, because Song of Creation will make you discard them, so, you know, whatever. Of course, you could also use Fae of Wishes to put Song of Creation in your sideboard and then draw it, you know, that way, so it could make your deck more reliable. Who knows? That's you know, that's why I put these out here, so everybody can see, take the deck in the direction that you want, and you know, come back and report it to me with how well it did. Quasi Duplicate is another jumpstart card. This card is actually very, very awesome. So if you're playing it on your Euro or your Croxus, you're gonna get another at least proc of their thing. Now I don't recommend Croxus so much, but Euro, you know, 3 mana to get the 3 life, draw a card, and put an extra land down is kind of fantastic, and then the ability to jumpstart it is really fantastic. Furthermore, you can copy your Brazen Borrows, your Murderous Riders, your Bonecrushers, your Phoenix of the Ashes, pretty much everything except for your Polukranos, Euros, and your Croxa, which I gotta say, you know, a copied Beanstalk Giant is fantastic. Anyways, Woe Strider, another great card if you're planning on going for the escapes. It allows you to get a little bit more value if your opponent's going to wipe your side of the board, right? You can go through and sack out your creatures one by one and get the scry off. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know some people really love Woe Strider, and the fact that it escapes as a 5/4, that's not that bad, right? That's solid stat line. Risk Factor is another jumpstart card. It's in here mostly because I just enjoy it, right? The ability to make your opponent choose some tough decisions is really what I enjoy. I don't think it's necessarily one of the best jumpstart cards. I think we're at a pretty good place with the jumpstart cards. If anything, I would maybe increase the number of Gravitic Punches, but you know, that's because me and I'm a little wacky. But Love Struck Beast, this is again if you're trying to play more into the adventures, it's fantastic. It's one of those things that you can play with Lucky Clover and not worrying about it fizzling itself, right? Because you don't have to target things, they just get to create more 1/1 white human creature tokens, which is a great way to give you a better front line, given this deck is kind of struggling on the low end front line area, right? The cheapest creatures you have to get down is still 3 mana that actually will stay, so. Baracus Spawn is another escape card, but this one is actually very interesting. 1, it escapes as a 5/6, so again, solid stats. 2, you only have to exile 3 other cards from your graveyard, which is not a lot given how many cards are going to be in your graveyard, so it's really cheap as far as the escape cost in that manner. And then furthermore, it's going to make your opponent sacrifice a non-Gorgon creature, which, you know, most people nowadays aren't really playing Gorgon, so you're all fine there. And the sacrifice part is nice because if you run into those Umori, Paradise Druid, Mutate decks that have hexproof on their creatures, making them sacrifice, well, get straight through that, right? Next, we have Ox of Agonist, which the escape cost is 2 red mana, so it's like one of the cheapest escape costs as far as mana goes. Now, you do have to exile 8 other cards from your graveyard, so it's very expensive in that manner. So it's, you know, it's got its positives and negatives. However, whenever it enters the battlefield, you're going to discard your hand. Well, you've already been doing that with Song of Creation, so no big deal. Then you're going to draw 3 cards, which is great because then you have more fuel for the fire, right? It also escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it, so it's going to come back, So it's going to come back as a 5/3, and again, you only paid 2 mana to draw 3 cards and get a 5/3 onto the board, which is kind of crazy. And then last but not least, we have Escape to the Wilds. It's not an escape card necessarily, but I think it does play kind of nicely with this deck, right? 5 mana, you get to exile the top 5 cards of your library, which means you won't discard them with Song of Creation. You may play cards exile this way until the end of your next turn, so they're kind of like turned into adventure cards for like 1 turn, you know what I mean? For like kind of like 2 turns, because the turn you cast this and then the next turn. Anyways, you may play an additional land this turn. Again, you already have that with Song of Creation and Euro, so I guess it's just another way to ramp you right up, am I right? Anyways, that is going to do it for the deck tech wrap up. Thanks everybody so much for joining in and for showing your support through all these videos and all the live premieres and all that stuff, even whenever I'm late, even whenever I'm sick, and you know, it means a lot to me, so thank you. I can't say it enough. It's crazy how far the channel has come since we started. You know, Mac was saying the other day, Mac Far, he's been around on the channel for literally ever. He was saying, you know, the production value of the channel has come a long way, and I don't really notice it because I'm here every day to, you know, doing the work. But you know, looking back, yeah, it has, and I really have a lot of you to thank for that, for the suggestions you've made in the videos, for sticking around to allow me to see, like, hey, this is what people respond well to, and this is what people don't respond well to, right? Anyways, I am actually going to get out of here today. All of you have a wonderful, fantastic day, night, morning, whatever time it may be, wherever you are. As always, I'll see you later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.